Testing, mic check. 1, 2, mic check. All right, man. So, go ahead and get into it. Shalom. Want to bring that camp lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father. Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Akakudash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Back with another lesson through the spirit, man. If my voice sound kind of weird, it's because my throat hurts a little bit. I don't know why, but nonetheless, man, thankful to be out here on another Saturday, man. Being able to do another camp lesson, and to Wadi How by Shem Yahweh Shah for that, you know, pushing, keeping us all of the brothers that's still out here going on the highways and the byways and the truth, man, because that in itself is a blessing, man. So that fact, and there's been a lot of things that's been going on through the week that I'm gonna update y'all on. So I'm gonna get to that shortly. And Lord willing, the camp lesson be edifying to those out there listening and watching. Today it's pretty cloudy and it's cool, which is good. I don't got the sun beaming on me today. So without further ado, man, like I said, it's really gonna be various topics. I don't have one thing that I'm just gonna specifically focus on for this camp lesson. And really whatever comes out through the spirit is what comes out, man. You know how these things go. It's not a real in-depth news breakdown. Is really just some of the major things that happen. For instance, yesterday or the past couple of days, right? I believe this was yesterday, where Donald Trump he sent submarines over to Russia, man. Right? That was a big thing in the news. I was watching a video on that, and really all this is just a fear tactic, man. That's really all it is from Donald Trump. You know, if you ask Americans, he's so feared by these other countries and whatnot, right? And he's been implementing these tariffs heavy and continuing to do those things. And it's actually not affecting these countries as they say that it is affecting them, or the way that they're presenting it to the mainstream media. It's not as successful as they're making it seem, right? For instance, you had a video, and probably more videos that came out about the tariffs that was going on over there in China, and people saying that they not really struggling from it because these countries have been making their own goods for years now, right? America is the one that doesn't have as many resources as these other countries, because I don't want to say they don't have any at all, but don't have as many resources as these other countries when it comes to making goods or whatnot. So it's just, you gotta pay attention to who are these tariffs really hurting, man. You got de-dollarization that's in effect and still going, right? Going strong. And so, Lockie, I'm trying to look something up real quick concerning the stock market as well as like the decline of the dollar, man. you know, you still got to keep in a. I couldn't find what I was looking for, but that wouldn't. It might not even been U.S. Bank. It might have been Bank of America who said that. Bank of America. But nonetheless, you have that going on, man. Him sending them submarines over and whatnot, as if they are looking to fight. I seen a report talking about how China is planning on striking Taiwan. That's another thing. With that as well, you know, you have the UK and Australia saying they'll join in with America if war does break out in between those two countries. If you all are aware, you know that is prophecy, right? Gog coming against Babylon the Great, right? And an assembly of north countries coming against the whore, man, right? All these things are in the scriptures. Mind you, UK and Australia army isn't even 1/4 of China's, or UK and Australia's military is not even 1/4 of China's military, man. So really, the United States and the people that are living there are living off of the old glory days, right? I mentioned this in my lesson earlier this week, and I actually forgot to mention it, but one of the guys I was talking to was mentioning how these other countries are scared. They fear Trump, which is not true. They're scared. They fear Trump. That's the narrative that they're painting over here in America, as a sense of keeping you all calm and not in a sense of fear, right? We already know that Donald Trump, as well as Edomites in general, are very good at talking the talk, right? And not walking the walk. Donald Trump is a businessman, right? A promoter. He has to sell people on things. That's what he's good at. He's good at talking, right? So he can do these things and have people believe that we're all good, everything is under control. Well, meanwhile, it's not. But the guy that I was talking to, he was basically saying, man, how America and Donald Trump is to be feared. Don't nobody want to fuck with us, and especially talking about these other countries, talking about countries in general, that we're having conflicts with through these proxy wars and whatnot, right? Iran, China, Russia, North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Basically, our biggest adversaries, not ours, but America. And he basically brought up, he's like, you seen what we did to Hiroshima and all these other things, and we got bigger and better things than that. And I was basically telling him, like I said in my lesson, I did say this, because he mentioned that, but I forgot to say it in my lesson. How we bombed Hiroshima and all these other things. They don't want to fuck with us. You see what happened with that. And that's the old glory days, man. That shit happened, what, 60 years ago? Give or take, probably longer than that. And I was mentioning to them, yeah, that was 80 years ago. Or Salaki, 70 years ago. 80 years ago. That was 80 years ago, man. So I mentioned to him, I said, you all are aware that American, their military power as far as missiles and bombs goes has not been updated in 30 to 40 years. I was like, did y'all know that? And they basically was saying to me, oh, that doesn't matter. Our weapons are still better than theirs, which is not true, right? Their technology is far more advanced than our technology, right? We can start with this first and foremost. America doesn't have any homeland defense at all, because of the fact that this place has never been touched, the Virgin Babylon. There has never been no type of war or strikes or bombing or mass destruction over in America as it has been in these other countries. Here is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1, and it reads, it says, "Lament for Babylon. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the child of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Right? And I just explained to y'all why it's called tender and delicate or a virgin, because it has not been touched. You all can say, oh, Pearl Harbor and all these other things, but really that was an inside job. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And that's Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai, when he comes back down, he won't be coming back down to the earth in human form like he once did before. He's gonna come back as a super being who can't be fucked with. And these Edomites are gonna join in battle while they're in the midst of World War III and come up against the Lord of Heaven's armies. And they're gonna have to fight the angels, which is gonna be a battle that they will not win, right? It speaks on that in the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1, where it speaks of the angel Michael coming to defend the children of Israel, right? It also speaks of that in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. And it speaks on that in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. Yeah, 13. It says, "As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel," right? And the Lord of hosts, the Yahweh of hosts, means the Lord of Heaven's armies, right? So we're identifying that these Edomites, as well as these other nations, are going to come together in battle, and they're going to fight the Lord of Heaven's armies, Yahweh Shai. That's the last thing, right? And that's going to be that nuclear destruction that we've been talking about, man. Shalom, Aki Hawaba, Shemi Al-Shah, Barakatah. So that's going to be the nuclear destruction, man. With these talks of World War III and whatnot, we understand and we know through the scriptures and through the spirit that is the last main prophecy, right? You have to have shit hit the fan. Then you have to have the implementation of the MOTB, which is going to be seen as a way to save people, or as a way or an option to join into society and get back into society. Followed by that, you're going to have, well, Jacob's trouble is all of that's going to be happening during Jacob's trouble, right? Shit hitting the fan, Jacob's trouble, the implementation of the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, right? All of these things going to be going on. You're going to have the outcasts who don't want to take that thing, which is going to be us, Lord willing, we be that number, who are going to be excluded from society. Some of us are going to be persecuted, some of us may be martyrs. It is what it is, though, right? The walk that we have right now during this society, during the time that we're in, is all preparation for those trials and tribulations that we're going to go through on the back end. So then, this is practice right now, so when it's game time, we'll be ready. As long as we're doing what we're supposed to do right now, the Lord is going to be a covering for us. You're going to still have war going on at this point in time, but it's not going to be World War III. However long we're in Jacob's trouble, that's going to end. We're going to be in World War III, right? These nations are going to come up, and they're going to fight. And it's not going to happen all over, what's going to happen all over the world, but the main stage is going to be America, Babylon the Great. And when they're all fighting, and Russia fires those ICBMs over here, those intercontinental ballistic missiles over here, that's going to be the nuclear destruction of America, right? The lake of fire, with the lake of fire and brimstone. And during that, they're going to look up You know what I'm saying? Right before those missiles are sent over, because Lord willing we be at that number, man, we're not gonna be on Earth, or we're not gonna be down here when the missiles go off. By that time, the chariots would have came and picked us up and beamed us up, right? Those who are gonna be the hopeful elect, the 144,000, as well as the innumerable multitude. But by the time we get beamed up, you know, Lord willing we be at that number, they're gonna look up and see the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And that's when they really lost. That's when they really fucked up, right? They're gonna look up and they're gonna have no choice but to fight them. So, and the Lord gonna rain down fire upon their ass, and this place is gonna be a desert. It's gonna be desolate to never be inhabited again, right? Those are the times that are about to come upon the face of the earth, man. And that's not fake. That's fact. It's not fiction. So I'm gonna get that in the scriptures real quick. This is Daniel the 12th chapter, starting at the first verse, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time," right? So all of these movies, these shows, this programming that Esau Edom puts out, man, it's basically, we look at it as a way to prepare us mentally for a percentage of what's gonna happen, because it's gonna be way further worse than that. It's gonna be so bad, our minds can't even imagine how bad it's gonna be, right? We can't comprehend it. And I've been meaning to, I called you the other day, man, because I'm gonna have to get you hip on some stuff. But anyways, you know, it's gonna be worse than anything that has happened on earth. Worse than slavery? Yes, nigga, worse than slavery. Because you'll tell a Jake that, oh, there's nothing that's worse than slavery, right? But you have to incorporate this. We're slaves right now, number one, because we're tributaries. You have to go to work every day. You get taxed, and you don't even get to enjoy the money that you make. You have that simple fact, which people are oblivious to in this lifestyle. But then you have to account for, in Jacob's trouble, there's not gonna be any food to eat, especially for these 2/3, right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do our part on this side so we don't have to go through those things later on. We're trying to get this work now. So there's not gonna be no food to eat. There's not gonna be no showers. There's not gonna be no transportation. You're gonna be walking all the time, right? People are gonna be getting killed. People are gonna be in the streets like dung, man. Con, it's all good. You're gonna be having dung in the street. It's gonna be mass death. That's all I can say. Mass death. Literally. And then on top of that, you have robo-dogs to worry about. You have weapons that weren't even thought of in those days during slavery. You have actual cyborg robots, robo-army soldiers. And then on top of that, you have prisons that are far worse than any type of prisons that were around during slavery. And then different types of torture that they're gonna be doing to us. They bringing back guillotines, right? They brought that back. So, reading it again, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time, my people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And Lord willing, we be those prophets that were written in the book, man, because those are the only people that are gonna be saved are the Israelites of the 144,000, followed by the innumerable multitude. No one else, that means no other races, no other group of people will be saved in that time, right? Those are things that your church and whatever else you follow are not gonna tell you. And I can go to that. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, meaning the dead, some of everlasting life. So we have brothers in the spiritual realm who are part of the elect, who are resting right now, and the Lord's gonna bring them back for that finale. And our Lord Yahweh Shai is gonna go through destroying all of that shit. Like I said, it's gonna be desolate. It's not gonna be inhabited. This land that we looking at right now, America, is not gonna be. It's gonna be a whole big ass desert that nobody's gonna go to ever again. So that's a thought. It's a food for thought. This place is never gonna be inhabited again. It says, and some the shame and everlasting contempt. So the Lord has people on the right hand side that He's gonna bring back. The Lord has people on the left hand side He's gonna bring back. And some, the ones that gonna be brought back for the left hand side, they getting brought back to act as charcoal. Honestly, the ones on the right hand side are coming back to you know what I'm saying, receive their glory and that salvation that the Lord promised them. It says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever, man. And that's talking about the Lord's prophets, the Lord's messengers, man. Like I say, Lord willing, we be at that number. During Jacob's trouble, what does it say? A man is going to be more valuable than the golden wedge of Ophir. And you know, Lord willing, we be those men that it's talking about. Because those are going to be the true men in that day that know what's going on. That's not going to bend or fold. Because we've been preparing for these things, man. It's been a constant preparation. It says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased, right? So that goes into many aspects, man. The Lord told him to seal the book up. It's just been revealed to us, right? Through the Spirit. And people are waking up more and more as we get closer to the end, man. Knowledge being increased. People are learning their true heritage, that they are Israelite, that they come from one of the 12 tribes of Israel, that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, chose us as a people amongst all the nations on the earth. And like we say, man, that's that's the best news that you could get. And going after that, learning your heritage and knowing the things you should be doing and what you should not be doing. How to rehearse the righteous acts and do as the Lord instructed us to do. Those would be your next steps. Now, I was about to bring out something. Oh yeah, Revelation, the 4th chapter. Nope. Maybe Revelation. Oh, Revelation 14. This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 1. And going back to my point, the whole time it was right here, man. I want to put my headband on. All right, come. Going back to the 144,000, man. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 1. And the title being the Lamb and the 144,000 on Mount Zion. Now see, I told y'all what the point and the basis of my lesson was. But the Spirit does what the Spirit does. I wasn't even planning on speaking on these things today. But the Spirit has led me to talk. We're talking about the end times and salvation and the nuclear destruction, all of that, man. So it's whatever comes out. So the Wadi How about Shimei shot for that. This is Revelation 14 and 1, and the title being the Lamb and the 144,000 on Mount Zion. And Ezra had another vision of that as well, which I can go to. It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads, right? And that also, you know what I'm saying, you could tie that into, right, going through, it's in the book of Jeremiah, marking all the men, but marking all the just men throughout the city, right? Because those same men are going to be the ones who come back, right? Any man that was righteous or just in his time, you can best believe that they was a part of the 144,000. Unless they just did some fuck shit, which they wouldn't be a just and righteous man if they did. Well, I can't say that because, you know, there's not a just man under the earth, according to the scriptures, of course. But there were for sure some, right? You have accounts of men being known as the most righteous out of their generation, right? Job was a man that had good integrity, was a just man. Noah was, Abraham was, right? Daniel was, Joseph was, you know what I'm saying? Going on, man. Judah, or Salaki, I meant to say Jacob. And the list goes on, man. So just best believe that those brothers will be getting a crown as well, whether they're in the spiritual realm or whether they're back here on earth, man. We're not going to know until we get those new bodies, until, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom of heaven is established on earth. Going back to verse 2, it says, "And I heard a voice from heaven, as a voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn their song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth." Damn. Nigga pull up. It's 100 parking spaces open, and this nigga pull up right next to me. Anyways, that's the elite club, man. That's like being in the Hall of Fame for Israelites. That's like being in a Hall of Fame of the kingdom. You're a part of the 144,000. You're a part of the apostles, right? The judges. That's the Hall of Fame. That's superstar status right there. That's elite company. You know what I'm saying? That's why we push and we strive to, Lord willing, be of that number, man. Because it's that serious. It's that serious. Like I said, you got to vision your crown, man. And let no one take your crown. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, which is Yahushua, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. And that is a blessing and an honor to be a part of that company, man. That's why we got to keep pushing, because we don't know yet. There is no guarantee. None. It's through grace and predestination. Not through keeping 100 million thousand laws. It's not from not sleeping with white women. It's not from whatever other foolishness these other camps will tell you, right? It's simply that. Grace, faith, predestination. Fear of the Lord, right? Those are going hand in hand. Now let's see, man. Y'all gonna get the one in second Esdras. Talking about the crowning on the mountain. They just sit in the car. Lucky, I'm trying to find. This might be in. No. going back to 13. It's funny how people drive by and just stare at you, man. It's lucky, man. I gotta find this precept. It's in the book of 2nd Ezra. I don't know, man. Maybe they was recording me. Maybe they was taking pictures of me. The only downside to that is I'm already recording. I don't care where this shit go. Ezra's vision. Oh, 2nd Ezra chapter 2, that's where it is. All right, here it is. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2. We can start at verse 39. It says, verse 38, arise up. Another person pulls in directly next to me. Oh well. Arise up and stand. Behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord. Right? It speaks on, you know what I'm saying, being clothed in white. That white linen, right? It says, take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, like I was saying, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled, beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. Right? That's what I was saying, man. Predestination. Those called from the beginning. The Lord knows all the prophets. It's not a secret to him. It's a secret to us, though, right now, because we don't know if we are part of that number or not. And hallowed meaning to make them holy, sanctified, right? Here's my point. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High Power, Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, Yahushua, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord, Yahweh wa Yahushua. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen. Okay? Talking about some bring it out, you silly. Yeah, man, so going into the crowning, right? And no, that's only for the elect, man. It's not an inclusion of any of these other nation of people, right? It's for us. Like I say, man, there's a holy Bible, and it was made for a holy people. So the fact that you have all these other groups and whatnot, other nations of people trying to take it as if it's their own, you gotta think about it. This nigga left the door open. Oh, it's a lock. Let me mind my business. Now, we're gonna go ahead and go get into what I originally was gonna bring out, and by that time we should be about done or wrapping it up. Time is it now? All right, Con, we doing good. So, like I was saying, man, call all your how about Shemal Shop. And it reads, I said in my notes, I titled this, Putin is unfazed by Trump, man, right? And that's pretty much what they were saying in those two articles or those two videos that I listened to, was that Putin is unfazed by these tactics or the things that America is doing, because it really all it is a bluff. And they even said it in the article, man, or in that video I watched, they said, it's quit playing to prophecy. That's what they said. You see how Edom likes to sprinkle shit in so that they can say, oh, well, it wasn't like we ain't tell you. That's that whole shit. I'm gonna tell y'all how it is, though. Because that is prophecy, right? This is the book of Jeremiah 25, verse 5. What the ox say in the comments? Bring it out! They said, turn ye again now, everyone from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that Yahweh hath given unto you and to your fathers forever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve them and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith Yahweh, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith Yahweh, and Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and a hissing, and a perpetual desolation. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle. And this whole land shall be a desolation and astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Okay? Now, of course, that's talking about ancient Babylon, but applied to today's time, the Lord is going to gather up a group of nations from the north. We're just talking about Shalakia, Russia, as well as collective other nations, right? You already have North Korea, Russia, Iran, you have China, all of these countries, amongst others, you know what I'm saying, other small countries they have with them, who are coming against America, man, and forming into the BRICS that they've already formed, and coming against NATO and America, right? That's their goal. That's their plan. And they've been doing this, man. They've been successful at it too. So we're coming to the point now, man, where these prophecies and these things that we've been saying through the scriptures are coming true, man. And we're closer, man. We're getting closer every day. As the days go on, we get closer to the end. right? That's why it's important for you to keep pushing and keep striving. I'm gonna start it. Let me see. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 6. And it reads, "Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power. But they shall be priests of the Most High and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years." Right? So that second death is what I was mentioning, man, the nuclear destruction. And there's gonna be a lot. That's the destruction reserved for the wicked in this country, man. Babylon the Great is indeed going to burn as if it was a lake of fire and brimstone. It says Satan freed and doomed. That's the title of it. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, right? That's talking about the 1,000 years when we were in rulership during the dark ages, not 1,000 years in the kingdom. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. We're talking about the Israelites, man. So once they came back on the scene, they were whitewashing things, breaking noses, all of these things, man, as a way to deceive the whole world. Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, right? Jacob's trouble, man, is going to be where they really persecuting our ass. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble, because Jake indeed will be in trouble. And Jake is in trouble around the world right now. We just haven't seen that on this side. But these Edomites are definitely going to come against us to seek to try and destroy us one last time, man. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them, right? So they're going to be trying to come against us as well as trying to come against each other, man. Russia and America, Gog and Babylon are going to come against each other, as well with a multitude of nations. And that nuclear destruction is going to be over here in America, man. A lake of fire and brimstone. That's going to be the end. That's going to be the end, right? Followed by the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, right? Which is these Edomites. That's going to be their judgment, the second death. And anyone who escapes with that, that's when Jeremiah 16 and 16 come into play, as well as Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, where it speaks on the Lord using us as his battle axe. Lord willing, we be that number. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever, right? So all of these things that the Edomites created as a way to deceive us as a people and the nations, they're going to have to account for that. And they're going to indeed be judged by the Lord for those things. There is no getting out of this one, man. Going into my next point. That's why you have people saying, "Oh well, if they was really tough like that, they'll just come and bomb America now." No, man, it's a way that things work. The Lord have these things put in place for a reason. It gotta go step by step. It's according to the Lord's plan. It's not according to their plan. It's according to the Lord's plan, right? The Lord's gonna build up Esau Edom's iniquity, make them hated amongst these nations, and then sooner or later, these nations are gonna join together and just come against our ass and say, "Fuck that shit, we done getting hoed," right? Because they spread their wickedness to all these other nations and they infiltrated them, man. This is 2nd Ezra 15, and starting at the 28th verse. All right, let's get the 26th verse. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Now, keeping that in mind, man, you had 2 large volcanoes erupt. You had a record-breaking earthquake was down there causing a tsunami. You have flooding in China. You have flooding in New York. People still getting genocide put on them in Gaza. And there's things I'm missing, man. The 28th verse, behold a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. So the Carmanians are the so-called Persians, which is now known as Iran. And these Arab nations, through America as well as Israel, poking their ass, constantly poking them, constantly breaking trees, constantly avoiding ceasefires, constantly doing, well, I ain't gonna say avoiding ceasefires, but trying to implement ceasefires that they're gonna break, trying to stop their nuclear weapons, right? All of this poking, eventually, these Arab nations are gonna come together and come against America as well. Then on top of that, your own members from the EU are gonna come against you, man. So it's a lose-lose situation for America, Babylon the Great in the end. And here it is, the book of Revelation, chapter 49 and verse 14. Now let's get verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra, which is a people before it was a place, shall become a desolation. And Basra was a city in ancient Edom. A reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come up against her, and rise up to the battle. Which is talking about modern day America, man. These nations are gonna come against America, and you're gonna see why. The things that they've been doing over the years and whatnot is starting to come to light, and their terribleness is indeed being exposed. That's why that shame's gonna cover them, because they never thought that they would be brought down. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And they are greatly despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And right there it just exposed what group of people this was. The troglodytes, the cave dwellers, the wild man. That holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, more symbolism, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. You go to the book of Amos chapter 9. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. How is Babylon falling? Right? Epstein Island getting exposed. You got pictures of Donald Trump and his part in it and whatnot. They don't want that shit to come out, because that's really going to expose their ass. It's going to show their true character and those people who are okay with being a part of that. Jeremiah 49:10 bumping up says, but I have made Esau bare. Oh, we could go. Let's start at verse 7, man. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? We could say that about damn near every decision they've made this year in his presidency. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. The Lord's going to visit this place, and he's going to make a riddance of it within an hour. That's all he need, he said. Give me an hour, I'm finna go ahead and kill these niggas real quick. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. These Edomites have run out of hiding places, man. Like I say, Esau Edom is continuously getting exposed. And I'm going to keep on saying that until I can't no more, right? Till they come and get us, or the famine of the word hit, Esau Edom is continually getting exposed. They can't hide themselves anymore, man. Their tongue is falling upon themselves. And there's no denying that one. I got something else, though, that goes into that. The book of Psalm, chapter 59, and verse 10. The Most High of my mercy shall prevent me. Shalaki. The God of my mercy shall prevent me. God shall let me see my desire upon my enemies. Slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power and bring them down, O Lord, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride. And for cursing and lying which they speak, consume them in wrath, consume them, that they may not be, and let them know that the Most High ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Salah. Now that's talking about a prayer, a deliverance from our enemies, which our enemy would be Esau Edom. This more so seems like it's talking to us though. But you could use this as well for Esau, because they have mouths full of deceit and lies as well. We can go to Obadiah. First chapter, starting at the 8th verse. But that's just a deliverance for your enemy. So whoever your enemy is, which we know that ours, as a collective, is Esau Edom. It's Obadiah, the first chapter, starting at the 7th verse. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Let's get this. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Remember, this still going into what I was just talking about in Jeremiah 49. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And the mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Now I just thought about this, going back to what I was saying earlier about how, oh, did you see Hiroshima? Did you see all these other things, right? Back then, those other nations did not have nuclear weapons like we did. Now everybody got nuclear weapons. And we don't even have the most out of all the countries. So what you got to say about that? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. 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 Okay? That's one thing Jake don't want to hear, man. And I'm bringing these out concerning the tariffs. This nigga keep on implementing tariffs and the shit not working. This is Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, starting at 11. Okay, let's get this. Verse 10. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. And woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors. We have children in office leading us to the downfall of America. So Tawadi Hawabashim Al-Shah for that again. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And then also, he's talking about implementing martial law. And that's 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. For because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? So, in a second, we're not going to be able to come out on the streets like we once were. We're not going to be able to go out for a walk. We're not going to be able to go to the store. They're going to point them guns at you. They're going to tell you to get back. They got to tell you again, you're getting popped. Okay? We're in that stage where martial law is about to be implemented. All these things that I've been talking about today are about to go into effect, man. Lord willing, soon. So, with that being said, I'm going to close it off there. Call hello, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakuras. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again. We taught myself as well as other brothers this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing. Shalom.